set up a lineup. Small is positive he will be able to pick out the man. Why did the Aryan Brotherhood attack Smith? Davis asked. I don't think that Kool-Aid did anything to provoke that attack, Small told him. He was my cell partner prior to that incident, and I have knowledge that Smith is the type of individual that he very rarely even talks to other inmates, and he causes no trouble whatsoever. It appeared at the time when they were on strike, he said he felt there might be some aggression toward him because of that. Small was not in the institution at that time, but Kool-Aid told him that he had worked and not gone on strike. Do you want us to put you in protective custody? Davis asked Small, knowing Small's life was now in peril because he had talked so freely. He could have sent Small to protective custody against his will, but Small could prevent that with a simple threat, which he used. If Davis sent him into protective custody, he would refuse to testify against the Aryan Brotherhood. Those ABs are not pushing me around. It's time for the blacks to stand up against them. I want to do it right. I want to do it the right way, Small said. There are no secrets in prison. Through the grapevine, just as Captain Davis and Small knew would happen, the entire prison learned that Small had snitched off the AB before the 6 o'clock news that evening. The kites from the brothers in the basement lockup, cell block porter James Watermelon Waltman, whispered to Buffalo Hall before he shuffled off his rounds, delivering to each cell clean sheets and fresh blues. Blue jeans and blue work shirts, and each prisoner's number stenciled in large block numerals. What's the kite say? Danny Cowboy Farrell asked his cellmate as Hall read the message hidden inside their stack of laundry. Just more shit, Hall said, feeling uneasy about the last part of the missive. You're in charge now, till I get out. The crumpled paper was signed, Red Dog. Red Gang was one of the 28 suspected Aryan brothers locked down by Warden Caldwell after Kool-Aid got stabbed on the gun gang truck. The convicts made it easy since they all sported a small fresh AB tattoo somewhere on their bodies. The AB oath was a mixture of bravado and half-witted nonsense. I swear to uphold all the obligations and decisions and to honor, respect, and be loyal to my brothers of the Aryan Brotherhood, knowing that if I do not, it will mean my death. I take and accept this oath and swear to abide by it, body and mind. This is the way I shall remain. Prisoners pledge their lives to the cause of white supremacy, with unquestioned loyalty to fellow brothers, obedience to the group's rules, and a promise never to talk about the secret brotherhood to any outsider. Any violation of rules was made punishable by death. When Hall initiated Cowboy into the brotherhood, the cellmates had something new to break up the monotony of prison existence. They shoot the breeze about how this new hustle would play out. What's this shit I hear about the ABs wanting to run a store? Cowboy asked Buffalo. Just sounds like cover for protection racket to me. Kites say Big Richard's gonna run the store now that Red Dog's locked up. How much shit's gonna end up in his veins now? With him for sure. That's where it all goes, Buffalo agreed. What do we do with Puff locked down? Cowboy asked. Like it says, run the brothers till he gets out. Hope they don't get too many crazy ideas while they're locked up. We'll pass it on to the other brothers in the cell block. Gotta let them know who's the boss now. With that, the pair lapsed into their own thoughts. The next day, Watermelon brought another kite signed by Red Dog. What's this one say? Cowboy asked. A lot of jive about look out after his boys and getting them to pay so Red Dog can get his own store, Buffalo answered. This brotherhood shit, Buffalo mused, started with all the shakedowns and hits from the blacks. This brotherhood shit, Buffalo mused, started with all the shakedowns and hits from the blacks on the fishing punks. Now we're turning our own fish into our own punks. How did Red Dog do it? In the joint for the last 10 years, but never broke. Always got credit at the store. The kites came regularly from the brothers locked down, who kept in touch with prison doings by kites from outside the basement of CB4, even though they were supposed to be isolated from the general prison population. Like any village, prisons are full of gossip. In this case, Watermelon and Cal the barber, the porters between CB3 and CB4, kept the brothers in CB4's basement informed and passed their orders back to AB's captains and lieutenants. Too lazy or too understaffed to do the work themselves, prison guards used trusted inmates to bring clean jeans and t-shirts to each cell in the lockup. James Watermelon Waltman an old southern sexual pervert as tough and institutionalized as Red Dog, and in his 5th year at Florence for rape and kidnap, carried the brothers' kites back and forth so they could manage business as usual. Waltman earned his prison nickname when he was discovered in the kitchen using a watermelon specifically sculptured for sexual satisfaction. "Nick, more kites from the brothers," Watermelon whispered most every November day as he passed Hall's cell. Being an AB captain when the brothers got locked down now meant Buffalo Hall bore the brunt of their frustrations and demands. "Don't like the way you've been taking care of business. Small and Gomes are still walking the yard. Get the ninjas or we get you when we're out, Rusty." Troy and Rusty couldn't be ignored. They were AB captains and tight with Stretch. Their say-so was as good as an order from the general. Their say-so was as good as an order from the general. Buffalo stalled for time while telling the other brothers about the escalating demands for a hit on Small. Maybe the kites would quit. Maybe someone else would get the heat. Maybe someone would step on Stretch's heroin too bad. Maybe Big Richard would piss off the brothers and take too much store for himself and his habit. The brothers can't do much else in CB4 lockup but send nasty kites. So why get uptight and think they mean anything? 10 days passed. Watermelon's daily kite delivery service was becoming more and more an irritant to Hall. "Read this one, Nick," Watermelon whispered, casting a furtive downward glance with his eyes to the stack of clean blues he passed into Nick and Cowboy's cell. "Say you're in it for once, they get out of the hole unless the ninja dies, and soon." Buffalo's temper flared inside, but he showed no sign of emotion and just grunted. The kites were getting hotter all right. "Why is Small still walking the yard, Red Dog?" "Take care of the ninjas, Small." He talked about Ward hitting Kool-Aid, Troy. The tone of the kites became more ominous with each passing day, and Buffalo and Cowboy talked about them with more alarm. The brothers were locked down for 2 weeks, and there were no signs of the administration loosening up soon. Even after the lockdown of the suspected ABs, daily routine for the other inmates didn't change much, giving them plenty of opportunities to gossip, swap lies, pass kites, shoot the breeze, and jack up punks for protection. With 3 meals a day, 8 hours at work in the industrial yard, trustees work outside the wall, gun gang, weights exercise, basketball hoops, and jogging the perimeter of the wall under the watchful eyes of the armed guards. Freedom abounded for all inmates in the general population to talk, scheme, and jive. Church on Sunday was a free mixing social hour as long as the conversations were held in hushed tones. A tight knot of Aryan brothers who'd avoided Warden Caldwell's lockdown, the Greek, Compton, Hall, Farrell, sat together at Mass,